But guys, welcome to the call. I hope everybody's blessed. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Riyad Jones. I'm Chairman 50 with our organization, and I'm extremely excited to be here as I am each and every single Monday. And this call is going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be lit. It's going to be, I think it's going to really put some people into gear because here we are at the close of a year. It's November 18th, 2019. And a lot of people say, hey, man, this year's over with. I'm focused on 2020 or, whatever the case may be. That's how a lot of people feel right now. And the reason why they feel that way, the reason why that will come out of their mouth is because internally they feel stuck. Internally, they don't know how to keep moving to close out the year. Internally, they don't know how to run to finish the year and run directly into the year. If that makes sense, talk to me in the chat box and let me know that makes sense. Because from a look of a few people's faces, it looks like that makes sense. Because a lot of people here's the deal. Remember, it's November 18th right now. So what they say is, I'm gonna just chill, I'm gonna coast, I'm gonna just vibe out. And man, once this next year start, I'm gonna move right into the new year. Internally, why they feel that way though, again, is because they feel stuck. They feel like they can't advance. They're feeling burnt out over the course of 11 months. Riyadh, it's been 11 months. We've been grinding. Absolutely, we all have. But you shouldn't get to a place where you feel stuck. But if you do, man, tonight I'm going to make sure that you have the tools and the tactics to not feel stuck. Let me completely mute the lines out. But if you have an answer to this question, I want you to drop it in the chat box. Why do you believe people feel stuck? Like, why do people get stuck? Somebody talk to me in the chat box and let me know why people would feel stuck. Mindset, no faith, they don't listen, no faith, lack of desire, belief, fear, absolutely. Forgetting their why, that's a good one. Overwhelmed, mindset, not seeing the results, that's a great one. Lack of focus, too comfortable, no vision, scared of change, lack of gratitude, really, really good one. Self-discipline, oh man, that's a good one. Lazy, perfect. So that's a good amount of answers right there. And absolutely correct. Let's look at the definition of stuck. The definition of stuck says that when somebody's stuck or somebody feels stuck, what it means is that they're unable to move, right, comma, or they're set in a particular position, comma, or a way of thinking. So when somebody feels stuck, they feel unable to move. They feel unable to get to the next level, right? They're set in their position. They're set at Platinum 1000. They're set at Platinum 2000. They're set at, oh, I'm just a 10-cent lot size trader. They're set in this position, so they feel stuck. Or they're stuck because of a way of thinking. Or they're stuck because of a way of thinking. So that's the definition of stuck. Right? You guys drop some reasons why people feel stuck. Lack of desire, no faith, lack of gratitude. They feel burnt out. A lot of people feel like they hit a brick wall. If you feel like you hit a brick wall before, drop a 1 in the chat box. Some people feel like they had a brick wall right now. Somebody just told me that 2 days ago. Yeah, I feel like I hit a brick wall in my business. Let's be honest tonight. All right, let me pull up my chat box so I can see. Let's be honest tonight because again, transparency is the key for trust. Transparency is the key for trust. Let me drop my 1 in the chat box too, because I know what it feels like to hit a brick wall. I know what it feels like to be stuck in a set way of thinking. I know what it feels like to be stuck at a position. I know what it feels like to not be able to move or to not be able to advance, right? So tonight, again, we're going to talk about how to get unstuck, right? How do I move in spite of me being like stuck, if you will, right? And I saw Brittany drop in the chat box, the only place you want to be stuck in is stuck in faith, which is 100% true, right? Which is 100% true. Now, over the course of the past, I'll say 60 days, 60 to 90 days, we've experienced great highs in the business and we've experienced lows. Like some people have experienced lows in the business. right? Some people watch their business grow and keep moving forward. Some people have watched their business go and take a pullback. And now that they're at the pullback, right, they feel stuck. They don't know how to advance. They don't know how to move and groove throughout the trials, I guess you will, of life. Here's the deal, guys. Momentum comes, momentum goes. We're looking at two teams in the NBA who a couple years ago, they were never in the playoff race. Now we're looking at them, the Lakers and the Celtics. They're both killing it in the East and the West. Why? Because momentum comes, momentum goes. Sometimes you're going to be stuck. The Lakers were stuck for years towards Kobe's decline, right? The Celtics have been stuck since the Paul Pierce days. Right? So, but just because you're stuck there doesn't mean you have to stay there. Just because you're stuck in your position right now doesn't mean you have to stay at that position. Just because you're stuck in whatever the situation may be does not mean you have to stay there. A lot of time God will take us to a place, but that doesn't mean we have to always stay in that place. Sometimes we'll get put into a stuck position, but that doesn't mean we have to stay in that stuck position. So what's the first way? What's the first key? What's going to be the first factor to help us get out of our situation of feeling stuck? It has everything to do with your mouth, right? It has everything to do with what you are speaking. Here's the deal, guys. You got to faith this thing until it's created. Faith it until it's created. Because again, when you're stuck, your language begins to change. I've witnessed people's language change because they feel stuck. At one point, they wanted X, Y, and Z goal. But as soon as adversity, the challenges of life hit, oh, you know what? I just want to become a trader now. That chairman stuff is cool, but I'll just rather trade. If you feeling that, if you know somebody that said that, drop a 1 in the chat box. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you know somebody that said that. Because they'll never say that when everything is all good. They only say it when they're in a dark place. They only say it when they're in a tight spot. But if every event was packed out, if every webinar was packed out, if everybody they spoke to signed up in the business, would they just want to trade? No. They allowed their situation to cripple them and leave them in the sinking mud, the sinking dirt. I forgot what they used to call it. Oh, the quicksand. That's what they call it in the cartoons, the quicksand. But see, when it's all good, we're only focused on the goal. But when life begins to hit, retractions in the business begin to hit, retracements on the charts begin to hit when you went for a buy and that thing starts selling 50, 70 pips and you got the wrong lot size in. Man, when situations like that hit, guess what happens to people's languages? Their language begins to change. The vision begins to change because they're in this position, they're in the tight spot, not understanding that when you're in a tight spot, when everything is not all good, that's when the enemy speaks the loudest. You know what? You should just trade. You ain't ready to go chairman. You know, nobody even coming to your events. Why are you trying to go chairman? And you start listening to it. You know what? Maybe you should just leave that whole IML stuff alone. You done paid your monthly subscription about 3 times, and nobody even coming to your events. You're still not touring free. Maybe you should just leave that alone. Don't even worry about it. So understand this: when you're going through the dark places, the moments that you feel stuck, or that time period that you feel stuck. Shout out to my boy Jamar over there cooking up or cutting up salami. I think he's doing on the screen over there. I see you at work again, grinding out, Jamar. I see you, my bro. So here's the deal. When you're going through that dark place, you're going through that tight spot, understand that that's when the negative voices in your head began to speak to you the loudest, to say, you don't need to do that. Go back to what you were doing before. At least you were comfortable there. At least you were comfortable at work. At least you didn't have this extra bill of $165 when you were just going to work. So it's going to be with your speech, it's going to be with your mouth that you begin to change the situation. If you're on a call tonight and you feel like, man, my business is going backwards, I feel like my business is dead, nobody's joining my business, it's not moving at all. Man, do I have a scripture for you. Oh man, it's not even a scripture. Matter of fact, I got a whole chapter for you. And I'm gonna read it really, really quickly so that you can get the points. Because I hope that it blesses your spirit. Because this scripture is literally, or this text is literally about dead things, right? A dead situation, a dead business. Something is not moving. If it's not growing, that means it's dying. So if your business is not moving, that means your business is dying. If you're deranked right now, that means your business is dying. That doesn't mean it's going to die. That doesn't mean it has to stay dead, but you got to know what to do to bring the business back alive. And guess what? When that gentleman called me at 7:25 and said, I feel stuck, I said, God, take me somewhere so I can give these people what they need to do, what they need to hear to move and groove throughout life. And man, it came so quick. It came so quick, y'all. And those that have ears to hear, let them hear. All right. So I'm not gonna read the whole story. What I'll do, I'll give you you know what? I'm gonna read the whole story. Y'all got time. Then the hand of the Lord was upon me. And I'm gonna give you context afterwards. Then the hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out, and he brought me out in the middle of a valley. The valley was full of bones. He led me around them. And behold, there were many of the surface of the valley, and behold, the bones were very dry. All right. So this man by the name of Ezekiel was led into a valley, and he was shown dead things. He was shown dead bones that had no life, the dead business, no life. He was shown that. All right. And he said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, only you know that. Then he said to me, prophesy over these bones, which means just speak. Prophesy over these bones and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of God. The word of God says, behold, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will cause flesh to come upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, your dead business, and you shall live, your business shall live, and you shall know that I'm God. So I prophesied as I was commanded. I listened, I obeyed. As I prophesied, there was a sound. When you get to moving your business, when you get to doing things, guess what? There's gonna be a sound, right? A rattling. The bones began to come together, bone to bone. And I looked, and behold, there were sinews on them, and flesh came upon them, and their skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, prophesy to the breath, prophesy, and say to the breath, thus says the Lord, come from these four winds and breathe into these slain so that they may live. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and breath came into them, and they lived and stood on their feet, an exceedingly great army. Now we're going to pause for the cause. We're going to pause for cause. Man. So this dude, Ezekiel, was led to a valley. This was a vision that he had, right? Of a situation that was dead. What was the situation? God's people rebelled. God's people did ill in his eyes. God's people just did everything that he said don't do. So God's people were scattered all across the nation. Their kingdom that they once had, dead and gone. Nothing there. No kingdom. These were the same people that he led out of Egypt. So everything was dead. Their situations were dead. Their miracles that they had, dead. God wasn't showing up in their life anymore. But he called somebody out and he said, I need to speak to these dry bones. I need to speak to this situation. I need you to speak where there is no life at right now. And that's what you have to do. You have to speak where there's no life at right now, because your speech can transform an atmosphere. See, his speech transformed the atmosphere where there were dead things. Nothing was alive. Everything was dead. Nothing was there. So your business may be on the decline. Your trading account may be on the decline. Your business may be completely dead. Your trading account may be completely busted and disgusted. But what you got to understand is the tongue, the most powerful tool that you have. And it can bring life or it can bring death. And those that love the tongue will reap the fruits. People leave that part out. Those that love the tongue will reap their fruit. So those who love the power of words, those who love the power of positive speaking will reap the fruits. But also those that love the tongue and they speak ill will, they speak death, guess what? They reap those fruits as well. So their business continues to die. Why is nobody joining my business? Why is my trading account not going the way I want it to go? Because you're speaking what shouldn't be spoken. You have to be able to speak to a situation, but not speak about a situation. Completely different. You got to be able to speak to a situation and not about a situation. See, when he saw those dry bones, he could have said, what you mean, can these dry bones live? These are dead bones. How can a dead bone? And see, that's why I told you guys to get on the call. See, in order to get on a call like this, it's going to take a sense of faith to believe in something that you probably never heard of, something that you probably never seen. And that's why I love these calls, because this is a call every Monday where your faith can get challenged or your faith can get rejuvenated, or your faith can get strengthened or lengthened based on where you're at. Because again, faith is what's going to create the miracle in your life. Faith is the only thing that's going to bring the business back. Yeah, the work and all that's going to do it, but it's going to take a strong level of action backed by a strong level of faith. It all works hand in hand. So he had a situation, there were dry bones, there was a dead situation. And guess what he did? He spoke. And flesh, muscles began to take over the body. People began to join the business. For some reason, the volume just started moving in the direction where you wanted it to go. For some reason, the support stayed strong, and for your buy, it didn't break. It just bounced up and went on. Listen, that's what begins to happen, ladies and gentlemen. That's what begins to happen. When you change your speech, when you change the words that begin to come out of your life and talk to a situation and not about a situation. So in my study, in me asking God to give you guys more than just that, I said, God, I need something else, because a lot of people not going to believe that, anything about dry bones and muscles and flesh and tendons. And a lot of people probably not going to believe it. A lot of people going to say, this is just fluff. So guess what he did? See, Ms. Drummond, he led me over to Matthew. I love his word. I love his word so much, because the word don't lie. It don't lie. It just takes a strong sense of faith to believe that everything in it is true. So he led me over to Matthew. And then I just said, you can't speak to your situation. You can't speak about your situation. You got to speak to your situation. You can't speak about the back office. You can't speak about being stuck. You got to speak to the back office. You got to speak to being stuck. Don't just talk about it, because here's the deal. Complaining about a crisis won't change it. Conversating on a crisis won't change it. Complaining on a crisis won't change it. It won't. You just talking about the situation, it won't change it. You have to speak to the situation. So in the midst of my studies, guess what? I got led over somewhere else. I got led over to Matthew. All right. And I checked out a scene of Jesus in the book of Matthew, because this is the deal. This is the deal, my fellow brothers and sisters. You have to speak to your situation, not about it. So when I perused over to Matthew, I saw that there was a situation that hey man, listen, it looked completely dead. The situation looked completely dead. Just how we saw the bones, dead, no life there. No life there. The bones were just stuck in the valley, no life there. God showed me another passage. He showed me another text about a grieving mother who was just so sad that her son died. Just imagine losing something that you love, the business, Just imagine losing something that you really, really enjoy doing. Just imagine losing something of value to you. She lost her son, right? And in the midst of this process, people are with her. It's said that a large crowd of people were with her. Now, what do you think the crowd was doing? Talking about the boy's life, talking about, how good of a boy he was, how he used to play out there on the football field, talking about what he used to do. But they weren't talking to the situation, because why wouldn't they? See, the faith level is different. So you got a person like Jesus that believe anything is possible to those that believe. You got another group of people that they too cool for the corny stuff. So guess what Jesus says? Come here, bring the pallbearers here, the people that are carrying the dead thing, carrying the dead body, because guess what their job is to do? Their job is to take the dead thing and go bury it. You got to listen to me. Their job is to take the dead situation and go bury it. So the pallbearers were taking the body out to go bury it because this was a dead situation. But Jesus speaks to the situation and he tells the boy to wake up. And guess what the boy wakes up and starts doing? The boy wakes up and he starts talking. He wakes up and starts talking. So when I tell you that your speech can transform an atmosphere, I need you to really understand that. And it was so crazy. It was so crazy. Before I always play a song before we get up on the call. I'm like, dang, what I'm gonna play today? And I literally heard "Walk It Like I Talk It" in my head. Sometimes you just gotta walk it like you talk it. I love the mass choir, the Migos. Sometimes you just gotta walk it like you talk it. So how have you been talking it? You have to walk it the same way. So if you've been talking about chairman, if you've been talking about becoming a master trader, guess what you got to do? According to the gospel choir of the Migos, you got to walk it just how you've been talking it. But see, a lot of people can't walk it how they've been talking it because they're so focused on the negativity. They're so focused on what's not happening in their life. They're so focused on, being stuck. So you really got to understand that your words have the power to create life or death. What are you using your words for? What are you using your words for? Because Ezekiel, he just told the dry bones to live. The dry bones started living. Jesus told the little boy to get up and walk. And see, now this is what you're thinking. God, I love your word. This is what you're thinking right now. Yeah, they're in the Bible. They're different. That's Jesus. That's Ezekiel. This is the cool part. And it says it in the Bible. The same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is the same spirit that lives inside of you. Ah, my goodness. So if Jesus and Ezekiel and all these other people have a certain type of power and we all made within the same image, what power do you have? See, that's why I always say it's going to be in your words. It's going to be in your vibration. It's going to be in your feelings. Because the battle that you face is not flesh and blood, meaning it's not the back office, meaning it's not people not joining your business, meaning it's not nobody showing up to your event. That's not the battle. The battle's going to be here. The battle's fought in spirit. It says it in the text. So you wonder, how does Riyadh seem like he's so faithful and seem like he just got, first of all, I don't have it all together. First of all, I'm a regular old human. First of all, right, we're all the same. The only difference is that if I want to know something, meaning, i.e. in this position, faith, I'm going to go and figure out where I can learn about true faith, not the world's definition of faith. That's why my faith may seem a little bit different from everybody else. Why is this faith so strong? Why does it seem so strong? Because I spend time learning how to strengthen it, because I understand that there's going to be a situation in my life where only faith can be utilized. But see, some people may say, nah, bro, it don't take all that. It don't take all that, bro. Well, listen, the text that I read tells me differently. So the first way to overcome feeling like you're stuck is by understanding the power of your words. Speak to your situation and not about your situation. Most people just speak about it. That's why it never, ever freaking changes, right? And then the second reason why people feel stuck, right, is because they get into a place where they begin to have this, we'll use the word fear. We'll use the word fear. Now, and what does the fear, what is the fear? The fear is, can I do it again? The fear is, man, do I really have it in me to do that again? Can I really? I did it. I know that we had a promo going on. We put in all these people, but man, can I do that again? I don't know if I can do that again. And see, this is what I really want you guys to get from this. It's okay to doubt. It's never okay to fear. It's okay to doubt. It's never okay to fear. Let me rephrase that one more time. Matter of fact, if you wrote that, scratch that out. The Holy Spirit is convicting. It's okay to doubt and it's okay to fear. But when you're in fear, you can't stay there. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to fear. But when you're in fear, you cannot stay there. Now, why would I say it's okay to doubt? Why would I say it's okay to fear? Because in the text, the mighty man of Jesus, as we call him, he said, I tell you the truth. This is about to get so good. I tell you the truth. You can say to this mountain, pick up, lift yourself up, and be thrown into the sea. And it will happen. It will happen. Right? But what's the prerequisite for it happening? You cannot have any doubt in your heart. See, there's a difference between a conscious mind doubt and a subconscious doubt, because a subconscious doubt is one that creeps its way into your heart, and that doubt that creeps into your heart creates a sense of fear. So it's okay to doubt, but it's not okay to fear. Matter of fact, I have more text for you, because I need you to get this. Because listen, here's the deal. I can only show somebody how to do what I've done. So if you're wondering, how does Riyadh live the way that he lives? How is Riyadh at $50,000 a month? I'm giving you how. This is how. It has everything to do with my faith. Everything. Everything. Yeah, we work. Yeah, we going to Orlando tomorrow to go do an event. Right? We work. We do that. But what makes somebody that works different from somebody else that does the work as well? What makes David different from somebody else that's been doing network marketing for 15 years? What does David talk about? His belief, his faith. So guess what I did like a good mentee? I listened. And I said, if this is what God did in your life, he can do it in mine. I just got to figure out what this stuff is about. And I began to search. I began to seek. You seek and you will find. You knock and the door will be open to you. I tell you the truth. You can say to this mountain, pick up and lift yourself up and be thrown into the sea. And it will happen. But you must really believe it will happen and not have any doubt in your heart. See, it's okay to doubt, but it's not okay to have doubt in your heart. It's okay to fear, but you can't stay fearful, meaning full of fear. You can't stay fearful. I tell you, a mountain. Think and see, a lot of time we hear this stuff, we just hear it, but really think about this. He said a mountain. So a lot of people say, man, I need strength to get over this hump. I need strength to get over this mountain. don't you realize that God gave you the power to cast a mountain into the sea? Ah, God, I love your word. That's what he said. So why would we just ask for the strength to climb it or get past it when he gave us the strength to just completely throw it away? But guess what that takes? A whole lot of faith, because you can't doubt in your heart. You can even have doubt in your mind as long as it doesn't get into your heart. Because sometimes, I don't know if God's going to do it, but I don't know when God's going to do it, but I know that he is. I don't know when he's going to do it, but I know that he is. That's all I need to know. I don't know when, I just know he will. I don't know when I'll become a master trader. I just know that he will. I know that I will. I don't know when I'll become a chairman 100. I just know that I will. You never 100% know everything. You never have true, 100% faith in something, because that means you 100% know, meaning you don't need faith. So it's always going to be doubt. Your faith has to be vulnerable. That's when it can be used. So you have to choose faith over fear when you're trying to get out of a stuck place, out of a dark place, out of a tight spot. When the business is going backwards, it's going to take faith over fear. What's the fear? Can I do it again? Are these people going to join me again? Can I sponsor 12 more people? Can I fund another account? Am I going to get the money to fund another account? Is this strategy going to begin to work for me? You literally have to choose faith. You have to. And then this is a sub point. Control who you listen to. This just dropped in my spirit. Control who you listen to. When you're going through a tight spot, you're going through a place where you feel stuck, you got to control who you listen to. God, I love your word. Because remember, the enemy always talks the loudest when you're in a tight spot. Talks the loudest when you're in a dry place, a desolate place. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. Because I gotta go. I gotta go to the straight to the text for this, because I need you to get this, because I said it earlier, but it didn't even hit me till just now. The enemy talks the loudest when you're in a dry place, a tight spot, the process, you feel stuck. All right. Because I know somebody that was stuck somewhere, and I'm about to show you that this is going to be so good. Because you have to control, because again, like I said earlier, there's going to be a voice in your head. You have two voices that speak to you. You have the God and you have the enemy. Those are two voices that speak to you. Positive thoughts, that's God. Negative thoughts, that's the enemy. Thoughts that don't leave you, that's God. Thoughts that come with positive emotion, that's God. Right? So now you know how God talks to you. He don't just come down and say, hey, bro, it's me. No, he talks to you in your voice. The thoughts that don't leave you is God. The thoughts that come to you attached with some type of emotion, that's God. Positive emotion. Anything else is the enemy. Now, let me get to my text, man. Man, where is it at? Here we go. Woo! If y'all feeling this, drop some fire in the chat box. I just got to know who's feeling me right now. I do better when I know the crowd is lit, the family's lit. All right, perfect. This is about to get good. Man. We almost done, by the way. Next, because remember, the reason why we're doing this call right now at this moment is because I've had 4 people in the past 48 hours or 72 hours say the word stuck to me. I said, man, I keep hearing this for a reason. That means other people feel stuck. So I specifically asked, that's why I keep going to the Bible tonight, because I literally asked, I said, God, please show me what I need to give them when they feel stuck. Like, give me something I can give the family. So that's why we're in this Bible tonight, because that's where he led me to. And what we're talking about right now is, remember, the enemy speaks to you the loudest when you're in a tight spot, when you're in a dry place, when you feel stuck, when you feel isolated and desolate. Next, Jesus was taken into the wild, taken into the desert Matter of fact, let me change the translation so I can get the good one. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit, by God's Spirit, into the wilderness to be tempted there by the devil. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted there by the devil. For 40 days and 40 nights, he fasted and became very hungry. During that time of him fasting and being hungry for 40 days and 40 nights of him, listen to me, he's in the desert. Imagine, and again, when we hear stuff, you got to put yourself into the text so it can like feel real to you. This is how you really, really understand what's being said so that you can get your faith where it needs to be to go out there and do what you want to do. Get the 20,000 a month, get the 50,000 a month, go out there and start a nonprofit. I'm giving you tactical stuff. We're not in the church. We're not in four walls. This is me, a human being from the hood, talking to you about what changed my life to get me to where I'm at today. So I need you to receive it with open ears and listen, because this is everything. Because when you're going through process, when you're going through a situation where you feel stuck, again, like I said at the beginning of the call, that is when you hear the negative thoughts the most. That is when the enemy speaks the loudest. And it's proven right here in Matthew. Jesus was led into the wild to be tempted by the devil. For 40 days and 40 nights, he fasted and became very hungry. So he was hungry. He needed something. He was lacking something. All right. During that time, the devil came to him and said, if you are the Son of God, if you are a chairman, if you are a master trader, if you are a successful entrepreneur, tell these stones to become loaves of bread. Let's go down some more. So Jesus told him, no, blah, blah, blah. We're going to scroll down, peruse down to another section of the text. Then the devil took him to a holy city. And he said, took him to the highest point of the holy city. If you are the Son of God, jump off. He'll send angels to protect you. Jesus told him no. And then the devil took him somewhere again. He took him to the peak of a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And he said, I will give it all to you if you kneel down and worship me. Jesus told him, get out of here. And then guess what happened after that? The devil left them. So if you can keep your ear strong enough to block the distractions, block the negative energy, block the negative noise, guess what happened? It'll go away. And the only thing you will hear is positive thoughts. But as long as you entertain the negative thoughts, he'll keep talking to you. Yes, Ms. Latoya, battle tested. I hope it made sense. Because when you're feeling stuck, guess what the enemy do? Just be talking and you just be listening, entertaining it. But if you can avoid the BS, if you can control what's coming into your ear gates, not just from your inner thoughts, but from people that are around you. Your mom, your dad, your cousin, the person that told you wasn't supposed to do it. The person that said, I told you that was a scam. But see, and when you're in your dark place, when you feel stuck, that's when they somehow come back around. I told you shouldn't have did it. You should have listened to me. That's why I ain't did it yet. Man. Oh, and somebody just said in the chat box, how do you block out the negativity and not feed the negativity? Guess what you do? You just talk back. You just talk back. You just talk back. Because listen, technically, Jesus didn't just block it out. He talked back. That's what you got to do. God, I love your word. It said right there. I just saw it. Then Jesus responded. Then Jesus said, but Jesus told him, man, see, when you're going through it, you just got to talk back. So when people talking to you negatively, you just talk back. What do you talk back? Your vision, what you wrote down, because that's what Jesus did. Jesus said, hey, the scriptures don't say that. So your vision don't say that. Whatever they tell you, your vision doesn't say that. I'm just reading what the text say. I'm just interpreting what the text say. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So let me rephrase it. You don't block the negativity out. You just talk back to it. That's what you do. That's what you do. Man, this call's so good. And let's get what? This call for me too. That's what's so good about it. That's what's so good about it. See, I ain't talking to y'all as if I'm like I ain't going through nothing. Listen, we all in this fight together. That's what's beautiful about this process, family. You're not alone. See, Jesus went to the desert alone. You're not alone. You got people around you that can help feed your vision. It was just Jesus in the desert by himself. All he had was him and what was written down. You got you, me, 400 other people on the line, what you wrote down and what they wrote down. When 2 or 3 or more agree on one thing, game over. That's why you got to be around the right people. I'm telling you. But guess what? I got another step. I got another point. I got another point. Because here's the deal. I told you point number 2, you had to choose faith over fear. That means make a decision to say, I'm going to choose my faith over my fear. Yes, I have fear, but I'm not going to allow my fear to cripple me, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people allow fear to cripple them, right? Remember, we normally hear that. Fear will paralyze you. Fear will cripple you. Fear will keep you on the sideline and not let you get to your dreams, right? We all know that's true, but here's the cool thing. Yes, it's true. Fear will cripple you until, somebody say until in the chat box. Somebody say until in the chat box. I need more people to say until, because fear will cripple you until discipline and commitment take fear's place. Whew. The only cure to fear, family, is action. The only cure to fear is action. But see, you can't take action in most cases if you're really fearful, because you're full of fear, you've been crippled, you've been paralyzed. And you're gonna stay that way until, I love that word, until, because that lets you know something else is coming, until discipline and commitment take its place. You have to, family, become committed to your dream, to your goal, to your vision, and then have the discipline to do the work every single day to make that vision come to pass. Every day. Because here's the deal. Our brains can only focus on one thing at a time. And when you're only focused on the fear, that's what your brain focuses on. Remember, you become what you think about. So when your mind is focused on fear, fear will then consume you. When your mind is focused on fear. But how do you get over that? What's going to be the course of action that you have to take? Well, guess what? It's action. Because once you take the right action, fear always fades away. I can just take it back to football, right? I remember playing the game, and I remember every week, like, man, we playing X team, Y team, it don't matter. It's like, dang, it's always this little sense in there before the game. It don't matter who you playing, actually. You run out the tunnel, you got the jitterbugs in your stomach. You like, man, am I finna play a good game today? There's always a sense of fear. A lot of times when you get up to speak in front of people, you're probably fearful. You're like, dang, am I gonna sound good in front of these people? How does my voice sound? Are my shoes tied the right way? Everybody else wear Gucci. I don't got no Gucci. I don't want to present. This crazy fear consumes you. But it's going to be action, right? And then when the action comes, it has to be discipline and commitment that follows that level of action. Because family, remember, the mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So when you're focused on taking action, fear automatically fades away because the mind is no longer focused on the fear. The mind is only focused on the action that you're taking every single day. So what's the action that you should be taking every single day? Showing the plan. See, the work don't change. That's why I don't talk a lot about it. It doesn't change. You show the plan 4 to 6 times a week. You sponsor people every month. You get other people to sponsor every month. You get other people to show the plan 4 to 6 times a week. It doesn't change. You're either going to work or you're not. That's it. You're either going to do the work or you're not. The work is always the same. The skill set is always the same. What skill sets must you possess to go chairman? I need to learn how to prospect. I need to learn how to present. And I need to learn how to promote. I need to show the plan 4 to 6 times a week. I need to get other people showing the plan. And I need to be exposing 2 to 5 brand new people every single day. I guarantee you, if you expose 2 to 5 brand new people every day, you do 3-way calls every day, you start hosting events, you start showing the plan 4 to 6 times a week, guess what's going to happen? The business is going to start moving. See, when you feel stuck, you stop doing what you did to get you to the place that you was at. You only feel stuck because you're not doing what you was doing to get to the place you were at before you got stuck. That's the only reason at the end of the day. Because if you're still doing, here's a secret for you. Now, if you're still doing what you've been doing, you're still doing the same work and it's still not moving, it may be going backwards. Guess what that means? It's out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're doing the same thing that you was doing to get you to where you were at before you got stuck, listen to, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're doing the same thing that you were doing to get you to where you were at before you got stuck, and you continue doing that and it's not going your way, it's going backwards, that means God is working on you when you think he should be working on it. Sometimes you just cannot control it. That wasn't me. That was a spirit, by the way. Sometimes you can't control it. Now, if you feel stuck because you ain't doing what you was doing before you got stuck, that's why your butt is stuck. But if you're doing the same work, if your organization is doing the same work, if you're showing a plan, if you're traveling, if you're in the field, you're in the trenches, and it's not going your way, guess what? Sometimes God can take a minute to work on it because it's working on you. That business is working on you. It's working on your faith. It's working on your patience. God, I love you so much. God, I love you so much. Oh, I got to go back to the text. Man, just dropped in my spirit. I promise this is the last one and we off the call because we're going to let this one marinate. I just love God's word so much because it doesn't lie. God is not a human that he should lie. So if he say it, that means it's true. I heard one of my favorite pastors say, God is not a man that should cap, meaning he don't lie. God don't cap, right? So if he say it, that means it's true. When God does something, he says something. If God ain't doing nothing, he's still doing something. He's a God of intention. So when he do something, he doing something. When he ain't doing nothing, he's still doing something. So if you're not working on the business, that means he's trying to work on you. If you ain't working on the trading account, that means he's trying to work on you. And guess what I got? I got truth for you. I got the truth for you. Somebody drop some fire in the chat box because somebody get some fire and we off the call. I just need to know if my 367 people that's still on the line is here. I just need to know. That day, when evening came, he said to the disciples, now who is he? He is Jesus. That day, when evening came, he said to the disciples, let us go over to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boats. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, a furious storm came up, and the waves broke over the boat that it was near. Okay, there we go. This is about to get so good, man. Gio, it's about to get real damn good. Excuse my French. Mom, if you want to call, excuse me. But it's about to get real damn good right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to start it over. Then when that day when evening came, you know what? I don't even want this version though. Let me change my version up right quick. Let me change my version up right quick because I don't need my eyes playing tricks on me right now. I don't need my eyes playing tricks on me right now. And be patient, it's coming. See, y'all, man, hurry up. No, it's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. It's gonna be good too. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, I'm in the wrong book. Man, this is about to be so good. So good. As evening came, Jesus said to his disciples with an S, let's cross to the other side of the lake. So the disciples didn't say that. Jesus said that, meaning Jesus knew what he was going to do. He knew everything before he got in the boat. So they took Jesus in the boat and they started out, leaving the crowds behind, although other boats followed. But soon a fierce storm came up. The back office started going backwards. The trading account started going backwards. It just wasn't moving the way that you wanted to move, right? So they took Jesus in the boat, started leaving crowds behind, but soon a fierce storm came up. High waves were breaking into the boats. Now the business really started to get messed up. High waves began to break into the boat. Your life just became a flood because high waves began to break into your boats. But remember who put you in the boat? God put you in the boat. Can't forget that. Never forget that. God is the one that put you in the boat. High waves were breaking in the boat and he began to fill water. Jesus was sleeping at the back of the boat with his head on a cushion. The disciples woke him up shouting, "Teacher, don't you care that we're about to drown?" When he woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence." Wait a minute. Jesus did what? Damn. Oh, he did what? He said something. He said to the waves, "Silence, be still." Suddenly, the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, remember the point we're on right now about fear. This is the point we're on. We're talking about fear. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith? Oh, man. God, I love your word. Now, we about to analyze this for about 2 minutes and we off the call. Who led you into this business? It wasn't me. It wasn't Gio. It wasn't Kevon. It wasn't Marcus. It wasn't Sean. It wasn't Debo. It wasn't Chris. It wasn't Ebony. It wasn't Cliff. God moved on you to allow you to make the decision to get here. Understand that. Because he knew the plans that he had for you before you were even thought about. So don't think you were the one to say, hey, I found, no. He led you to IML. He led you to your sponsor. He led you to our organization. The same way Jesus told his disciple, let's cross over to the other side of the boat. Now, think about this. When Jesus said, let's cross to the other side of the river or the ocean or the lake, right? Somebody sharing their screen. Boom. Jesus said, let's travel to the other side of the boat, to the other side of the lake. Meaning, he said, let's, as in, not just y'all go, I'm going to go with y'all. Now, let's take a second to pause. Because I asked you, who led you into the business? According to the chat box said God. So if he led you there, like he led the disciples there, doesn't that mean that he's in the boat with you? Doesn't that mean that? I'm just reading what the text say. Let's cross the other side. Jesus was still in the boat, but soon. It don't say how soon. It just say soon. The storm could hit you in a week, could hit you in 2 weeks, could hit you in a month. But sometimes when you get into your process or your journey, soon a storm could come. High waves were breaking into the boat and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping in the boat. Remember what I told you earlier? I said, well, God is a God of intentionality, meaning when he do something, he says, when he do something, he's doing something intentionally. And if he's not doing anything, he's doing nothing intentionally. Let's go back to the text. But soon a fierce storm came up, high waves were breaking into the boat, business started going backwards, and the boat began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping at the boat. Remember, he put you in the boat. He's in the boat with you, but sometimes he don't say anything. Sometimes he just sleeps in the boat while you're being attacked, while you're being under duress, while you are in process, while you are in your dark place, ladies and gentlemen, while you're being rained on. Sometimes he don't say anything. How do I know? Because it says it in the text. Jesus was sleeping on the boat. His disciples, his friends, woke him up and said, don't you care if we drown? God, don't you care that is not moving how I wanted to move? Don't you care that I'm not a chairman yet? Don't you care that I've been doing this business for a year and I'm still not a chairman? Don't you care? Don't you care that I've been trading for 2 years and I still haven't, flipped the accounts over 2,000? Don't you care, God? Don't you care that we're about to drown? Don't forget who put you in the boat. Don't forget who put you in the boat. When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, silence, be still. So again, Jesus ain't forgot the power of words yet, because he's still saying something with his mouth. Suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Then he asked, this is about to get real good for my final point, and then we off the call. Then he asked them, why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith? Could it be that God put them in the boat, or that Jesus put them in the boat with a mission on his mind? Now you're probably thinking, what would be his mission? What if, Latoya, what if the mission, Gio, what if the mission was to expose you to your lack of faith? So all storms don't come to kill you. All storms don't come to destroy you. All storms don't come to steal from you. Sometimes storms come just to expose you to who you really are. Because they all got exposed. Everybody in the boat got exposed. Everybody. You want to know how I know I know? Everybody did? I'm about to show it to you. The disciples woke him up shouting. It don't say Peter. It don't say John. It don't say Luke. It says the disciples. So that means everybody was scared. Everybody was scared. Because remember, if you go back to the top of the text, Jesus said, let's cross to the other side of the lake. It don't say where they was going. It just said, let's cross. This specific text here does not say where they were going. It just said, let's cross. So what if the mission of God in this position here, in this situation here, was to expose them to their lack of faith? Because God didn't condemn them. He didn't talk negatively to them. He just asked them two questions. Why are you afraid? And do you still have no faith? So what if this situation that has you feeling stuck right now, what if the reason for it is to expose you to your lack of faith or proof that you really have a strong living faith? What if? Because I asked you, I said, I wanted to make sure that who led you into IML? Who led you into your certain situation? But like I said at the beginning of the call, just because you got led into a situation, don't mean you have to stay there. Jesus got led into the wilderness, but he didn't stay in the wilderness. The children of Israel got led into the wilderness, but they didn't stay there. Only the ones that disobeyed. So just because you're led there doesn't mean you have to stay there. Just because you're stuck here today doesn't mean you have to be stuck here once you get off the call. Because remember what the definition of stuck says, the third definition. Stuck means unable to move, set in a particular position, or a way of thinking. So what if you can just flip a switch and you wake up tomorrow, you don't even feel stuck anymore? So with that being said, family, this show is over. I have nothing more to say. The Spirit has nothing more to say. At this point, you just got to dip and go apply. I pray that everybody got value from the call tonight. Again, the reason why I had to go in very, very in depth like I did tonight was because people had questions that I really didn't know how to answer at the time. All I just tell them, hey, keep it. But I say, God, you know what? Give me something that I can give these entrepreneurs. And everything that you just got came to me at 7:25. When somebody called me and said, bro, I feel stuck. I said, bro, just be on the call tonight. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I just said, bro, be on the call tonight, because I knew I was going to ask God. He was going to give it to me, because if you ask, you will find. Most of y'all problem, you ask too small. Understand this. Is your God's pleasure, is his desire to give you the kingdom, not after you die, but right here on earth. That's his desire, to give you the kingdom. You just got to ask for it, family. I've been asking for wealth. I've been asking for wisdom. I've been asking God for the things that I can't get in my own power. Because if you can do it in your own power, it's not worth being really done. I want to do things that God has to step in and sit in my boat to help me do. That's how I know it's going to last forever. So with that means that I love you all. I'll see you at the bank. Good night. God bless.